Hey, I'm Julia Borelli. I work with artists such as Anima, Mine Against, Stefan Bodzin, and labels like Afterlife, Tomorrowland, and many more. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to get professional low-end for your melodic techno tracks. I mixed and mastered Pegasus by Kevin Vries, so let's use that as our example here. There is also a complete masterclass with me mixing and mastering this track, so check it out. Tip number 1, do not layer your kicks. Why? Phase. Let me show you. If you have 3 layers of a kick, here we have a main kick, another layer with a bit more of mids, and the clickiness. Let's use the main kick and the mid kick as an example. If the phase is not right, so I'll shift here. Do you see how much it changes the kick? So instead of layering, you can just mute the others and shape the one kick as you like. So if I want the clickiness, I can just bring up a little bit of highs and get the same effect. Tip number 2, make your kick punchy and round in the low end. On my main kick, I will add a transient shaper, for example, and increase the attack of only the low end. Much better. Another trick I use a lot is using split EQ to boost only the transient of the lows, and you could even go into the detail of going to specific frequencies that are punching in the low end. Let me show you how. Preferably on the key of the song. Also, to make this low punch and the highs glued together, I usually put a limiter on the end to round it up very nicely. You can even add some saturation if needed. Tip number 3, make sure to clear the low end of all the other elements with the multiband compressor. Let me show you how. So I set up buses with all my elements to have an organized session, and on each bus, for my effects, my synths, my bass, and any other elements I might have, I put a multiband compressor only on the low end, sidechain to my kick. Make sure to set your multiband compressor to external, so it's catching the sidechain. You can also play with the look ahead to make sure that you're catching the transients. Depending on the kick I have, I use different frequencies as my trigger. I do that because my personal sound is a clean, clear kick on the low end. To achieve that, we also have to look into the other elements. So make sure to shape your bass, your synths, all fitting around your kick, and to dance with the kick. So let me show you the AB with the multiband compressor. Let me show you on the drop. Tip number 4, phase. Make sure to check the phase of all your elements in relation to the kick. You can phase swap and test if it sounds better or not. You can check the whole process on my masterclass, but today we're only going to show kick and bass. I want a clean and punchy kick on the low end, so that's what I'm looking for when checking for the phase. If you're not sure which phase to go for, try listening only to the low end. The idea here is if you go to the toilet in a club, you should still be able to dance. I'm going for the non-flip option because I want a clean and punchy kick on the low end. Listen closely. Getting the phase right for all your elements in the mix allows you to get a much louder track, and your limiter will be thankful in the end. Tip number 5, shape the other elements of your mix to dance with your kick. For example, here I can make the low end of my bass groovy so it's not affecting the low end. Here I'm using Sugar, which is a multiband enhancer, which I can shape the different frequencies. And adding a bit of saturation with the different colors, I shape my bass to sit perfectly with my kick. If I want to bring out the higher punch of the kick, I could also use a multiband compressor on other ranges of the bass. I can find the frequency that I want to, and then together. You could also add a bit of clickiness to the kick in case it's not coming through on the highs on the drop when the arrangement is busy. These are some of the techniques I use to get my low end right. Check out my masterclass for the whole process. Thank you very much. I hope you learned something, and see you in my class. Oh, and one more thing, choose the right kick sample.